Good morning, everybody, and I'm happy to be with you today and as the representative of my university, Palestine Technical University Khaduri, the leader of the TVETCQ project, which is an Erasmus project. And on behalf of all partners of this project from Palestine Polytechnic University, Al-Quds University, Al-Najah National University, Arab American University, University College of Applied Science in Gaza, and Ministry of Education, Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, and Ministry of Labor. And our Europe partners, Technical University of Berlin, University of Applied Management Studies, Lille University, European Association for Vocational Training, EVBB, and Midlink want to welcome and thank all of the academic deputies and universities president assistant for their support our project, and also Erasmus Plus program for their fund, and the National Erasmus Office of Palestine for follow-up, and welcome for all of you distinguished attendees in the third training session, which is delivered by Technical University of Berlin team and Midlink team. The aim of this training session is to enable participants to become aware of the instructional design, digital and blended learning, also which is related to TVET, and to deal with the approach followed by the European partners university in dealing with these topics in TVET sector. Welcome and thank you for all of you. Now, let me call Dr. Nidal Jayousi, the head of National Erasmus Office in Palestine. Dr. Nidal, the mic is yours.
How are you? Good morning, everybody. I'm glad to see you and to be with you during this session. I am very happy that we're launching the third training session of this project that suffered from certain bottlenecks and due to COVID-19 and some issues due to the delay of different activities. We hope this will lead to further progress of the project, and it's really great that all the partners are in and taking part. We hope by the end of this training session, we will be achieving further progress in TVET. TVET education is one of the main pillars of education in Palestine. And actually, this project is one of the projects that we do. We give it special emphasis because now the new trend, if I may say so, of the EU is focusing on TVET education. In the new call of the EU for the upcoming 6 years, TVET education is occupying a major role, and it is of great interest. So the calls will be asking for TVET education, and it will be good to build on this venture actually, as the idea of the project is good, and maybe we can build on it since we have already the consortium. This is very important, especially that on October we will launch a new call, and you can also think of new ideas to develop or further develop your project. So I'd like to thank you all for taking part in this training, and I will be with you at the beginning and maybe tomorrow a bit, because I have at 11 another commitment, but I'll join you later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nidal. Thank you very much. Now I call each coordinator from each Palestinian university to introduce his team. I start by myself, Nuhater from Palestine Technical University Khaduri, Dr. Dirar Alayan, from my team, my university, Dr. Dirar Alayan, Dr. Ma'an Al-Khatib, Dr. Murad Awadallah, Dr. Bilal Yunus, Yasmin Hasari, Ala Hanturi, Hassan Daragma, Dr. Mahmoud Ismail. This is my university team, Palestinian Technical University team. أهلا وسهلا فيكم زملائي. Engineer Jalal, the floor is yours in order to introduce your team.
Assalamu alaikum, sabah khair. Good morning for everybody. We are at the best, we have to welcome our Dr. Mustafa, Vice President of Academic Affairs, and Engineer Ayman Sultan, Vice President for Development and Planning at the BPU. My team or our colleagues from the BPU, Engineer Zedan Taha, Engineer Khaled Shalabi, Engineer Ashraf Zahir, and Mrs. Mira Salami, in addition to myself, Jalal Salami.
Thank you. Now, Dr. Saida, if you please introduce your team.
Good morning. I wish all a great session today. I'm from Al-Najah National University. Our team from Al-Najah consists of Dr. Suhail Salha, Dr. Zuhair Khlef, Musab Miari, Mr. Musab Miari, Munif Qaffaf, and I think other colleagues are still not coming. They will join soon. Muhammad Shadid, he is here. Muhammad Shadid, yeah. And I think other two will join in the coming few minutes. We are very excited about this workshop, and we look forward to learn and exchange experience together. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Saida. Dr. Muhammad Mushtaha, if you please.
Good morning. Hi, it's me, Muhammad Mushtaha from the University College of Applied Sciences in Gaza. Welcome you, all of you. Me and my team, Dr. Ali Al-Khatib, ex-Vice Rector for the Academic Affairs. We have also Samah Mhassin. We have Asma Abu Samra, Muhammad Al-Masri. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Dr. Amjad, if you please.
صباح الخير للجميع. Bonjour à tout le monde. حابب أقدم اليوم فريق الجامعة العربية الأمريكية. شكراً للدكتور مؤيد أبو صاع نائب الرئيس للشؤون الأكاديمية لتواجده معنا. بشكر كمان الحضور الكريم الموجودين. Bonjour à tout le monde de la partie de la France et de l'Europe. التيم الجامعة العربية الأمريكية مع حفظ الألقاب: مصعب العمودي، أمجد الرتروت، أحمد فؤاد، سبق إكمال من مركز حسيب الصباغ للتدريب، مسؤولة التدريب، رسمية عنبتاوي، وكمان موجود معنا محمود محاميد، أسامة العمري، نزار الشهاب من الجامعة العربية الأمريكية. شكرا لكم، وبتمنى يكون في هذا تدريب سيشن تدريب ممتاز. Merci à tout le monde. J'espère que cette session ce sera en bon sens. Merci beaucoup.
أهلا وسهلا فيك. شكرا. Thank you, Dr. Amjad. Dr. Inas, if Dr. Inas not attend till now, Dr. Rashid, if you please. You had to unmute, Dr. Rashid.
Thank you. Good morning. Sabah al-khair for everyone. My name is Rashid Jayousi from Al-Quds University. Dr. Inas is apologizing for not being here because she is involved with other meeting, academic council. Our team, they'll join later on because of several involvement, lectures and other things. Our team, the Afif Zedan, Hussein Samamre, Jihad Abbadi, and Hadil Halawa, and myself as well. Thank you. Pleased to be here, and hopefully wish you successful meetings.
Thank you. أهلا وسهلا فيك دكتور رشيد وفي فريق القدس. زملائنا من وزارة التربية والتعليم from Ministry of Education, ضياء وإيمان, if you please.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ziya Batafta from the Directorate General of TVET from Ministry of Education. I am here now with my colleague, Engineer Iman Kitani from Tulkarm Directorate.
Thank you, Dia. Thank you. From the Ministry of Labor, Sausan.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Engineer Sausan Abu Shanab. It's my pleasure to join these activities and exchange experts, our experience with you. Me and my colleague Iman Abu Al-Am will attend this event. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you and welcome. Ramiz from the Ministry of Higher Education.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nohab, for the invitation. Good morning, everybody. This is Ramiz Mehdi. I'm here participating on behalf of Ministry of Higher Education, TVET department. Overall, I'm super excited for joining this session. Thank you again and good morning for all my colleagues.
Thank you, Ramiz, and you are welcome. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for academic deputy from all Palestinian who attend this Palestinian University, who attend these meetings. Also, thank you for the resident assistant for relationship from our university for development and planning from Najah National University and from Polytechnic University, Deputy Minister from Palestine Polytechnic University and American Arab University. I think I don't forget anyone, and we all of us don't forget anyone because we share the to introduce each other. Welcome for all. Dr. Fuad, the floor is yours in order to introduce your team and also to start the session from your side, because I inform from Hamid that you will start before Hans. Okay. The floor is yours.
Okay, you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Do you hear me? Okay.
Very well.
So I have to make a partage of. I have to show you my PowerPoint. So how? Okay.
You have the rule now. You can share now. Repeat that another time, Dr. Fuad.
What I have to do, because they have here an instruction about sharing the screen. This is what I have to do, because I don't use usually team.
Go to share screen. Go to share screen, which is green. Share screen.
Yes.
You have a lot of options. You can choose the
okay.
desktop.
Now, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Fuad from Midlink Institution. He will be with his team with us for the 4 days in order to give us their experiences in the field of instructional design, blended and e-learning, digital.
Do you see my screen,
yes.
my
yes,
presentation?
Yes, Dr. Fuad.
So the first I will present, we are not an institution, we are an association. So it means that we are a group of teachers and technicians from France who act to have a international cooperation, especially with Palestine. So I will first, our activity with Palestine was initiated in 1993, and it was focused at the beginning on the field of electrical engineering, industrial computing, industrial automation, and control. So it was to help Palestinians to have a 2 years diploma in 2 years diploma or a bachelor, a professional bachelor, things like that. Here I will present quickly. Donc in 93 and 94, we have an activity for setting training Palestinian University in mission in France for training Palestinian trainers in France. In 95, 98, it was an activity for installation and operation of 2 resource centers, one in Al-Quds University and one in PPU. In 1996 and 2001, assistant in setting up the Palestine Technical College Tulkarm Kaddouri at the beginning of Tulkarm, and Derbalah also by definition program, laboratory equipment, training of trainers, etc. After, we have an assistant of the creation of Bachelor of Technology programs, industrial automation, electronic for telecommunication, etc. We also organize and facilitation of inter-university trainer workshop in the West Bank. So we organize some workshop in Palestine, which have objective for training trainers. I think. After, we have a collaboration, we established collaboration with Schneider Electrical Foundation of a proposal. We present a proposal to equip Palestinian University in industrial automation, electrical energy distribution, etc., and implement of the project at the Palestine Polytechnical University in Hebron and the Palestine Technical University in Tulkarm. It was mainly for materials and training of trainers. And we have established a cooperation program with the technical and vocational education and training centers, TVET centers. In plus, MedLink members have played important role in the co-design and implementation of 3 European campus projects. The first one, it was a regional project with Palestine, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria. It was about training of industrial system integrators, what we call now mechatronics. Okay. After the second one, it was a RIFO program. It was with Palestine, and it's about inter-university network for open and distance learning. His budget was about 100,000 euro. And after, we have the code project. It was career-oriented curricular development for road vehicle maintenance. It was piloting by PPU University. And now we have this current Erasmus project, which we have collaborated to establish him and writing the proposal. In fact, as I have said to you, MedLink is not an institution. So MedLink's cooperation actions are not institutional in nature. They are designed directly. We try to design our project directly with Palestinian teacher and colleague, which are concerned by the project. Our action, our manner of action have two objectives. The first one is to allow for the updating and improvement of teaching contents, especially in technological one. So it's the first one is a transfer of competences directly to the colleague who are concerned by this subject. The second one, which is very important for us, the second objective, is to encourage the development of a collective cooperative work between Palestinian teachers and technicians. This one is very important for us because science, you have to distinguish between two things. There are institutions, and in institution you have faculty, you have a department, you have all this structure. And in the other side, you have what we call in Europe the network of and collaborative work group, things like that. Science is created and developed in this kind of informal activity, which are networking and group, etc. And this group developed activity, tried to develop activity in order to have results and to capitalize this result in the institutions. So in Europe, the institution, they give a lot of importance, they encourage her personnel to have informal activity in this kind of informal work, which is thematic groups and things like that. So this is two kinds of culture which are different but complementary. When we analyze the result of our action, concerning the point one, which is the transfer of competences, things like that, we can say that these actions have had positive punctual impact. Indeed, some colleagues were able to take advantage of it in order to update their technological courses or practical activity, things like that. But concerning the point two, we can consider that it was globally a failure in Palestine. Okay. Indeed, purely because I think it's not a, it's indeed because in Palestine, which is the same case in Lebanon and Syria and in Jordan also, the purely administrative and institutional work culture predominates in Palestine. So the only culture which prominent in your university is the institutional one. And this kind of culture did not favor or encourage the development of collaborative work group between the different participants. This did not allow for the collective ownership of this because the thematic group and things like that. This is the only way to have a collective ownership of the knowledge that was transmitted, because these groups can discuss about the result. We can say that it's a learning group. This kind of I think we have to analyze this situation, because this problem, it can be an handicap, it can be a problem even for our project. Okay, so we have to discuss this and see how this outside in Europe things, how science is produced, things like that, etc. Because there is a difference between a fixed structure like department, like faculties, things like that, and informal works which are networking. Networking, we don't have a responsible of networking. They have in networking we have project, and each project have its responsible, and the objective of the can be changed also. Okay, so it's very flexible as culture of work. Now, the problem of TVET, the problems of TVET is that they are multidisciplinary, plenary discipline in nature. As you will see in the various presentations in this session, this session will show you clearly how the TVET globally is a multidisciplinary activity, discipline. Thus, emergence through this project of a collaborative and multidisciplinary working group is the only guarantee for its success. So I say it's very important to discuss our culture of work, because the objective of this project is to initiate a group, a collaborative, multidisciplinary group, which can continue in the future and can accumulate all the knowledge which we have and the relation which you will have to establish with European partners. It means that this implies a collective debate in order to review the current management method. I insist in that. It's not a particular problem, it's a global problem, in order to converge to a working method which would allow the development of a collaborative group. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, I think Medlink is not an institution, so I will see how. 1 minute. Other side. Okay. So in our presentation, our member will cover different aspects: academic research, with the first presentation, some university training programs, especially in master's degree, experience in teaching and practical work at a distance method, experience in the development of tool and platform. And it's important to see that this kind of work is not uniquely a tool that we use, but tools that we have to adapt or develop. It means that it's a collaborative work between different competencies. So this is what I finish. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fuad. Thank you for your presentation and for introducing your association. Now, let me welcome Professor Hans from Berlin Technical University or Technical University of Berlin. The floor is yours, Professor Hans.
Thank you so much. So I can share my screen too. Do you see the screen, the School of Education?
Yes. Yes,
Vocational training. So welcome from my side too in Berlin. This meeting was planned in Berlin, as you know, before COVID-19. But I see COVID-19 as a big chance to push digital education, to push hybrid education, to push distance learning. You know that teachers are hesitating to switch to digital teaching methods. They are the biggest obstacle for modern, let's say, distance learning education. And COVID-19 helps us to a certain extent, despite, of course, the very negative effects and many casualties. But in terms of, let's say, teaching innovation, COVID-19 is a chance. I speak to you as the study dean of the School of Education of the Technical University Berlin, and our school mainly focuses. Ulf Schrader is the director. I'm the vice director for study and teaching, and then there are 3 other colleagues in the team. Let's say, have a look. Warum geht's nicht voran? Okay. I wanted to show you that most of our programs at our school are focusing on the education of vocational teachers. And the programs are construction technology, electrical engineering, nutrition and food sciences, vehicle technology or automotive, maybe a better translation, information technology, agriculture and horticulture, landscaping, media technology, metal technology. But we educate, these are about 600 students, teacher students, but we educate another 600 students to become teachers for, let's say, pre-vocational education in secondary schools in Germany. So we have a school subject, work and technology in secondary schools, which tries to motivate students, secondary school students, to go in the direction of vocational education. So not only university academic training, but vocational education, where Germany is especially strong. And I think let's say our strong economy relies maybe more on the vocational education than on the universities. Okay, here, let me quickly share with you one last information about the university. So we have in German universities, we have not very many professors. Altogether, we have about 8,800 staff members at our universities, but only 340 professors, plus 370 visiting professors and lecturers, and then about 5,000 academic staff members, and we have about 33,000 students at our university. It is the university with most international students in Germany. Most of our students come from engineering, as it is a technical university. We have very many exchange programs. We have about 6,000 international students at our university. And here you see the distribution of the nations at our university. Most come from China, Turkey, Poland, Vietnam, Iran, India, Russia, and with this, and we run summer and winter universities besides of the bachelor, master, and PhD programs. These are the participants of our summer and winter universities, and maybe within TVETCQ we can have such a summer or winter university too. Well, with these introductory sentences, I would like to hand over the word now to my colleague Hamid Mostofi, who is responsible for and organized this workshops, and I'm very much looking forward now to the next talks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Hans. Thank you for your presentation, and welcome for you and your team for the coming days also. Now I will leave you with Hamid Mustafa to introduce the content of the training session, third training session. Mustafa, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Iter. First of all, I really appreciate you and your colleague to coordinate also this training session, and also I really appreciate my colleague, Dr. Fuad Badran, for the cooperation. So, as I mentioned, this is the third training session of our project TVETCQ. That the main object and outline of this training session is instructional design, digital and blended learning. And this regarding to our consortium of this project, this session will be coordinated and conducted by Technical University of Berlin and the associate Medlink. So the first day is today that we have done the first part, which was about the welcome note introduction of Medlink and TU Berlin. And then today we have the second part from 1 p.m. To around 4 p.m. This part will be conducted by Medlink, and it has two main lectures. The first one is from the 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Is analysis and synthesis, technocentric and anthropocentric of a live experience of an accelerated digital transition with a view to develop some educational perspectives. And this lecture will be presented by Professor Dr. Khaldun Zerik from Paris 8 University. It's around 1 hour and around 30 minutes questions and discussions between among of the participants. Then we have a 15 minutes break, and the second lecture will be reference systems and training courses set up at the University of the Lille and Nanterre concerning multimedia pedagogical engineering by Professor Dr. Oliver Lasvernas, and it's from the Paris Nanterre University. So this is also for around 1 hour and 30 minutes question and discussion, and maybe also the lecturer will give some working group assignment and team working. So I think that all of the participants have received the Zoom link of this session and also each session. So this is that it is also mentioned in the PDF file. Tomorrow on 13th of April from 11 a.m. to 1:30 Palestinian time, but it's from the 10 to 12:30 Central European time. We have the TU Berlin part for this section, these sessions. So we have 3 interesting lectures from TU Berlin team. The first one is the playful learning and digital didactics, contemporary learning approaches with the help of digital learning environments. It will be from 11 to 11:20 and also from 11:20 to 12. This session will have team working questions and discussion, which will be conducted by Dr. Julia Kliberger. And also she is working in one company also as a joint to TU Berlin as a Junge Toftler GmbH. It's also, this company is working in the field of digital learning and updating of digital learning approach for young people, including vocational education training and also other skills, which can give you some really interesting experience from Germany in this field. And then with the second lecture will be from 12:15 to 1 p.m. at Palestinian time. It will be a student involvement and blended learning on the project SuperQ. So this is also the one of the TU Berlin project in the field of vocational education training, and the name of that, as it is mentioned, is Project SuperQ. And my colleague Jania Klose from Technical University of Berlin will present the results approach of this project. Then we have the last lecture on this day from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., actually including the question and discussion part, by Professor Dr. Mohammad Mahdavi. He was also former colleague at TU Berlin, and right now he's the professor at Gizma University of Applied Science. And this is a nice project about the data science for everyone, an interactive online course, which is also some experience from the University of California, Berkeley, UC Berkeley, and also TU Berlin about how we can improve the efficiency of e-learning and how we can conduct an interactive online course with some digital platforms. Especially they use the Jupyter Hub as an infrastructure and platform for sharing data between students and lecturers and teachers that give you the live experience from TU Berlin and also University of California, Berkeley. Then on 14th of April, another day, the third day, we have also 2 lectures from TU Berlin side. It's from 11 to a quarter to 2 p.m. Palestinian time. The first lecture will be New Online Digital Methods for Vocational Education Training by Dr. Robert Richter, Technical University of Berlin. And Dr. Robert Richter, he will give you the methods, the blended methods and digital methods, especially for laboratory, for using the 3D printers and this new technology for Mecha Lab. And also we have the question discussion with him. Then the second lecture will be digitalization. How do young people learn digital skills, which will be presented by Dr. Martin Lutzelberger. And also in this lecture, he will introduce a simulation tool, which this is a kind of the software and program that teachers and the students can make as a virtual world for experiencing the topics of the course and the learning content. So also this lecture will include also the simulation tool, and it has some team working by participants and Dr. Martin Lutzelberger. And the last day will be the Medlink day, and it has three really interesting topics also in this field. The first one will be it's from the 10 to 3 p.m. Palestinian times, and it has three lectures. The first one is a digital platform for remote lab sessions by Professor Dr. Etienne Lefort, if I'm right in the pronunciation in France. Lefort, yeah. And then, thank you, Fuad. And this is from the Medlink Association. And the second one will be the design of a digital platform for dedicated and remote lab sessions, presentation of the virtualization and cloud principles used by the solution we have chosen before briefly presenting this solution. So it's also the combination of the practical course and also the learning and reviewing of these methods by Professor Dr. Samia Bouzoufarene. If I'm right again, Then the third one will be presenting the last topic on this day from 1 p.m. to around a quarter to 3. The presentation will focus on the method that we have developed since the start of the pandemic, presentation of the methods and educational tools that we use in the context digital electronics teaching, VHDL, IoT, RTOS, MCU, and embedded system by Professor Jan Dulze. So it's also from the Medlink Association. Then we have a question and discussion, and the last part will be, inshallah, the closing speech of these third sessions. So this is actually, I tried to give you the overview and the general objectives and outlines of this third sessions, training sessions, and the main topics. I think that Dr. Eter have sent you and you have received the Zoom link of each these sessions, and we are really looking forward to having these interesting sessions together. Thank you very much. And Dr. Eter, please continue in this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamid, for presenting the agenda for the whole days.